UCSD baseball is proving they're not just a hot team. They might be the team to beat in the Big West. They take 2 or 3 from Hawaii, improve to 10-2 in conference, and they're doing it in different ways. A 10-9 comeback win, then an 8-0 shutout. That shows you the balance that this team has, and that's what contenders look like. But here's the question: can they sustain it? Because they're still leaving runners on base, and consistency on the mound hasn't always been there. Now they've got UC Santa Barbara coming up, and that's the test. If they win that series, this isn't just a good start. UCSD might be for real in the Big West. Another strong week for the Tritons, taking 2 or 3 from the Hawaii Rainbow Warriors baseball team and continuing to hold first place in the Big West at 10-2, something that they're going to try to do the rest of the year as they finish and continue Big West Conference play. But if you look at where we're at with UCSD baseball, Thursday night was chaos, and in a good way. Tritons rallied from a 4-run deficit to win 10-9, pounding out 16 hits and 7 doubles, tying a Division I program record, their Division I program record. It was a full lineup effort, 5 players with multi-hit games, and another example of how explosive this offense can be.
Yeah, Friday night, though, was a reset, a 6-3 loss, just 4 hits, and the lowest strikeout total of the season on the mound. That game showed the flip side of what the offense looks like when it cools off and things got tougher. Saturday responded the way a first-place team should, an 8-0 shutout victory, their first shutout win of the season, powered by 3 home runs and dominant pitching that held Hawaii to just 4 hits. So you saw the good, the bad, and then the fantastic over the course of this weekend for UC San Diego.
But the big story, this team is starting to show something important. It's starting to show balance. Earlier this season, UCSD was winning with offense alone. Now they can win slugfest, as they did 10-9 on Thursday. They can win clean, dominant games, 8-0 on Saturday, and they're learning how to respond after losses. That's the evolution of a real contender. And the key takeaways from this week of UCSD baseball: offense continues to produce at a high level. Power numbers are climbing. Camacho now double-digit home runs on the season. Pitching just delivered its first shutout of the year, but they're still leaving a lot of runners on base. That last part matters. 16 runners left on base Thursday alone. Again, against better teams, that can come back to bite you.
Yeah, absolutely. And still came out with a win in that game, but 16 runners left on base. That is a lot. Something we talk a lot about with the team downtown, leaving runners on base. Softball, though, mixed bag for Triton softball this weekend. They bounced back to take a game in the series against UC Riverside, and then won the rubber match, showing offensive life with back-to-back 12-run games, progress, but overall, they're still trying to climb out of an early conference hole and try to find that consistency. So split the first day of a doubleheader, and then came back on Saturday to take the series win. So solid enough weekend for Triton softball.
What's next? Well, now comes a big road test for the baseball team. A weekend series at UCSB against the Gauchos is never an easy task, and that's one of the better programs in the conference. It's a real measuring stick for a team currently sitting on top, and a real measuring stick to see if UCSD can, in fact, win this conference for the second time since being promoted to Division I. They already won it once as a newly formed D1 team. They weren't able to play in the NCAA tournament, of course, because of their transitioning phase where they're not allowed to compete in postseason play for 4 seasons. But they're in a really good spot to potentially play in their first NCAA tournament at the D1 level if they can continue this pace atop of the standings in the Big West. Now, the Big West is in their second year of a tournament. So UC Irvine will be hosting the Big West tournament at the end of the season. The winner of the tournament will make the NCAA tournament, not the winner of the regular season, which they have done for so many different years. So now in year 2 of the Big West tournament. So very big weekend series for the Tritons this weekend at the Gauchos. But the discussion topic is UCSD built to stay in first place, or are they riding a hot stretch? Right now, they absolutely look like a top 10 or top team in the Big West. But what separates good from great is consistency. Can the pitching show up every weekend? Can they clean up situational hitting and stranded runners? Because the offense is good enough to carry them far. If the pitching continues to develop like we saw Saturday, this team isn't just a nice story. They're a legitimate threat to win the Big West Conference.